Right then, we'll start off with the juniors. Some very powerful karts, some very quick karts. We're gonna drop it down a little bit. Drop it down to our younger drivers, our slightly slower karts. But don't worry, the racing action is still just as exciting. A split grid though for this one. Let's take you through it. James Devereaux and Dewey Hockridge are on the front row. We start off with the Rotax Micros. Charlie Page, Harry Knight, Tommy Climo and Dimitar Uzunov there, your top 6. Darren Dimitrov, Finley Beals, Teddy Higgs, Roger Gokulnath are your top 10. And I believe, yeah, that's it for the Rotax Micros. Pole for Iami Water Swift Restricted is Mason Hibbert. Behind him, Henry Algar. They're both on row number 6. With row 7 having Alessandro Salas, your WM plate winner from last year. Alongside him is Harry Fable, then Reggie Chandler, Philip Petro, Ronnie Kempson and Cody Vertigan. I believe that is indeed your whole 18 kart grid then for this one. 10 Rotax Micros and 7. Is my maths right? Ah, it is 8. I was right first time. And 8 Iami Water Swift Restricted. But as you can see there on your screen, if you've not watched Whilton Mill Kart Club before, we do split it into 2 separate grids. So we'll see the race start initially for the Rotax Micros, and then only a few seconds after we'll see the race start for the Iami Water Swift Restricted. Here we go for the Rotax Micros, and it's going to be a false start. So we will be going round again. That gives us a little bit more time to chill and bed ourselves in for these races to come. So as we continue on our rolling up laps, then you can see that little chevron flag denoting that the drivers need to get themselves in a bit more of an organised pack ready for the race to get started. Yeah, apologies if there's sudden silence today on the stream. Of course, I am doing the comms solo today, so if I need to rush off for any reason, I'm afraid you're going to have to, well, I was going to say you're going to have to deal with silence. You're probably going to love that bit. Just have that bit on repeat for the rest of the day in terms of audio. Right, here we go then. Rotax Micros. Can we get underway? Second time of asking. Yes, we can. Through the first couple of corners already, drivers getting very close there. Nearly a driver chucked out onto the grass there through oblivion. That was a close one. And look at this, dropping and changing up to Christmas corner. It's the 46 of James Devereaux who's held on to the lead then through this race start. But the 33 of Charlie Page has gained a position up to second place and now is the one challenging for the lead and now the one down the inside. So Charlie Page takes the lead of the race. James Devereaux holds on to second, battling in behind for third place. The 78 making a move as well. There you saw in the little small screen, the Iami Water Swift Restricted start. And look at that pan back from our fantastic camera crew here at Alpha Live. And we immediately catch the start of the Iami Water Swift Restricted race. Looked like a good one. Already the leader started to pull away there. That would have been Mason Hibbert making a good start then. Back to the Rotax Micros as they come through the final corner to finish their first lap of the race. And it's Charlie Page who is in the lead. Good start then from Charlie Page from the second row of the grid, already up to the sharp end. Here are your Water Swifts though, and it's a wide moment for Mason Hibbert. Opens the door for Alessandro Salas. So Alessandro Salas, your WM plate winner from last year, scythes his way through into the lead of the race then in the Water Swift Restricted category. Charlie Page under a bit of pressure for the lead of the race, but himself, and I do believe it's James Devereaux, it is indeed on the 46, starting to try and make a gap here. I believe it's the Coles racing driver of Dewey Hockridge who's in behind in third place as they're getting very close to comfort in the Water Swift as we switch back to them. Making a little bit of contact as they exit the first couple of corners. But all managing to hold on to it. We don't want a repeat of what we saw in the first Junior Max heat, where we saw a driver off in the barrier on the exit of Oblivion and Crook there. But the drivers managing to hold on to it this time. Impressive to see as well, the entire field all in one camera shot still as well. We've already had a few minutes of this race, and some really good battling as well between these young drivers. But it is Alessandro Salas still leading in the Water Swift Restricted. Through the first couple of corners they come again. They are very fast corners as well. but it's Dewey Hockridge who takes the fastest lap. Here's the move for the lead though, so Mason Hibbert initially made that slight mistake on the first lap, went wide down into Osiers. Lost out the lead of the race, back through he goes on Alessandro Salas. So Salas demoted to second place then, but it's the number 12 of Henry Algar who's in behind in third place. We'll see if Algar can get involved with that battling as well. Down in the Rotax Micros, Dewey Hockridge has got the fastest lap of the race, so that two-way battle for the lead is quickly becoming a three-way battle as we now do switch back over to them. But the Coles Racing driver on the 78 pressing on nicely in this one. Smashing those curbs on the exit of Osiers to get yourself that little lift and that little press on forward. A little bit of extra pace can go a long way. Is that Tommy Climo that they've dragged with them as well? I do believe it is. Go through the last couple of corners. Oh, that's a late move to the inside there. The 17 and 13 having a good battle. That's Philip Petro through on Ronnie Kempson. And that'll be for 6th place in their class, I believe. Three-way battle up to Christmas corner, though. They nearly go 3 wide. The 46, luckily, James Devereaux realises that Dewey Hockridge behind is already going for the move, pulls back in and has to relinquish the position. So Hockridge up to 2nd place then. And Tommy Climo trying to get involved now as well on the number 85. So head through down into Osiers. It is Charlie Page who's in the lead of the championship at the moment. 255 points coming into today's action. Maximilian Abrahart, 2nd place in the championship. He's not here today. I assume Max is at the UKC roundup at Warden Law, which of course you can catch on Alpha Live as well. Don't watch that, only watch that later. It'll all be there, ready to watch at your leisure. Watch it whenever you like. But today, you want to be watching this live because Whilton Mill Kart Club, there's no better racing than this. Back to the action. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go then in this one. And Dewey Hockridge is all over the back of Charlie Page. Can he find a way through, though? That is the question. So Tommy Climo has now followed him through. James Devereaux slipping back to 4th place now. Now he's in the best viewing spot of the field. He might want to get back to 3rd place, though. Thinks about it down into the boot, but tucks back in as they head into the braking zone, probably for the better here. It's all getting very close between these 4. The 133 and WM plate still line astern as well. Mason Hibbert and Alessandro Salas battling for that lead of the class there in the iArmy Water Swift Restricted. Henry Algar still pretty much with them, but not quite close enough where if Alessandro goes for a move here and
3, 2, 1, ping off, and a nice gentle start here. Here they are, first furlong.
Just loses the momentum for Mason. I don't think that Henry's quite close enough to pick up the pieces from that. So realistically, if the 133 and the WM can start to press on here together, maybe start battling with 30 seconds, 40 seconds to go, they can make sure it's only the 2 of them who are battling over those top 2 places. That makes sense. Alessandro Salas, 2nd place in the championship in 2024 at the moment. Henry Algar, who's in 3rd place in this battle, currently sitting 6th place in the championship. Mason Hibbert, I believe this is his 1st round of the season. Yes, it is. So Mason really coming in and shaking things up in the Water Swift Restricted category. The championship lead at the moment is Chester Forks. Again, I do believe another driver not here this weekend. So the door really is open for a new championship leader heading out of round number 4. Alessandro Salas is going to want to do that, and he's in the best place to do it, really. Of course, with Mason, this being his 1st round, he's going to be unlikely to mount a championship charge after missing 3 rounds of the championship. But either way, providing some great battling for us. Here we look back to Charlie Page, though. It's, of course, the Rotax Micros. Charlie Page and Dewey Hockridge creating a little bit of a gap between themselves. Tommy Climo and James Devereaux in behind. It really depends on when these 2 start battling. Very close now. It's Hockridge, and Page knows it. Page pulls over to the inside. They're battling in behind as well. We got 2x2 going up into Christmas Corner. It's a wide moment for Page, though. Can Hockridge hold him on the outside? He's going to go onto the grass and nearly up and over the curb there on the inside. Well held from Dewey Hockridge there. That was a bit of a heart-in-mouth moment for him. He holds onto it. He stays in second place as well, but loses all of his momentum. And Charlie Page already building a gap between themselves, 4 or 5 kart lengths. And Dewey Hockridge has fallen into the clutches of Tommy Climo and James Devereaux in behind as well now. It was well planned. It was a good move. Here we look back to the Army Water Swifts, though. Number 12 of Henry Algar, this is. Oh, okay, I thought this was the battle for the lead. No, Henry Algar's through on Sarlas. Sarlas goes back through down into that downhill braking zone of Ashby. Through they go now into Osiers. So Sarlas has retaken the position. But what's happened in the last lap or so then? Because Sarlas and Hibbert were battling very closely up until this point. And you look back and suddenly Sarlas is behind Algar. So I don't know what's happened there in that little battle. But either way, Algar taking his chances and taking the position, but Sarlas immediately retaking it back once again. Here we look at the Rotax Micros. There's a move to the inside, very cheeky from Tommy Climo, and through follows James Devereaux as well. So only half a lap ago, Dewey Hockridge was trying to make the move for the lead of the race, and now he finds himself down in 4th place. Charlie Page is the first to see the last lap board. He'll probably check over the shoulder. He doesn't even bother checking over the shoulder. He knows he's got loads of room. There's a move down the inside of Christmas Corner, though. Too close, and round goes the 46, collected by the 63 of Harry Knight. James Devereaux, with a little half spin there up at Christmas Corner, manages to collect it all up in a pretty good time, to be fair. It's going to drop to 5th place. That gives Dewey Hockridge his 3rd place back anyway. Tommy Climo still holding on to P2 now. That gives even more room to Charlie Page in the lead. He doesn't need to worry at all. Checks over his shoulder, knows he's got loads of room. Just keep it on the black stuff through this final section, and the win is yours, Charlie. But will Climo and Hockridge have anything to say about it for the last couple of sections? Here comes Charlie Page. Deserving win there for Charlie Page, and he's very happy about that one. Across the line he comes. Takes maximum points then from their first heat of the day. Tommy Climo with the 2nd place. That didn't look... that wouldn't have been the obvious bet at the bookies with a couple of laps to go, but there you go. Tommy Climo, great end to the race there. Here we look back to the Water Swift Restricted. Of course, your leader, Mason Hibbert, is pretty far off in the distance now. He'll be coming through the boot section as we pan back over. There he is. So the 133 with a great race. But what happened to Alessandro Sarlas on the last couple of laps? He'll stay there in 2nd place. He'll fend off from Henry Algar. But I don't know what happened that caused him to drop those 2nd or 2 back from Mason Hibbert. Either way, Hibbert, Sarlas and Algar, your top 3 in Water Swifts, followed by Harry Favel, Reggie Chandler, Roddy Kempson and Philip Petro there, your 8 drivers in Water Swift. Now, there were supposed to be 8, but I think only 7 ended up going out on track in the end. Your top 10 and all finishers in the Rotax Micros were Charlie Page in the lead of the race, taking full points from that first race. Tommy Climo and Dewey Hockridge, your top 3, with Harry Knight, James Devereaux, Dimitar Uzunov, Finley Beals, Darren Dimitrov, Teddy Higgs and Rudra Gokulnath. Those were your finishers in the Rotax Micros as well. So our first and only split grid race of the day. They'll of course be back for their heat number 2 just before lunch.